awkward.
Aloha, one and all. Look who we are here with, the world famous, universally known Dale Rogers,
Hey,
the auditor. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. You want to not hit the table too hard? Yeah.
Well, I'll just get my arm off the table. How about
Okay.
that?
All right, guys. We're here in his better half, much better half is over here. She's afraid to come on, but we're here at Moana Surf Rider. Let me know if how's the audio, video, everything good. We're here at the backside of Moana Surf Rider. Obviously, Diamond Head is back over that way, and Dale and his lovely wife have just. Well, tomorrow you leave tomorrow, Wednesday.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, they're leaving tomorrow. They're going to be here have been here 10 days, right?
Yeah, we got here late on Friday the 14th.
All right, good deal. And you're staying at the
Waikiki Shore.
Waikiki Shore. That's right. Did your neighbors kick you out after that? You had that disruption of someone coming down screaming your name.
I got some funny looks. I've been
but
asked
everybody
about
knew your name, right?
Everybody knows who I am now.
They said, "Hello, Dale.
Yeah,
Hello,
they all
Dale."
know who I am. That's right. They looked up on the balcony and said, "Oh, that's who he's yelling for. That fool."
Aloha, Jill and Patty and Margaret and Allison. Good to see you, Cat Roy and Margaret. We'll let you guys get on here for just a few minutes. How's the audio and video for you guys? He may be a little dark, but I wanted to put the beautiful ocean behind him. Aloha, Mr. In Between, Lance, Margaret, Diane. We are actually live on YouTube as well. So YouTube and Facebook. So if you guys happen to be on Facebook and you want to go over onto YouTube and give us a like and a comment, that would be outstanding. How did he do that? Did you do that? It says Dale, how's it gang?
I did that.
Oh, you did that?
I just did that while you were talking.
I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm on the stream, man.
All right, Mara, number 5, videos, everything's good. Okay. Video's a little blurry. Yes, because we're going to both the streams, both channels.
Did you
It's a
get
good
it on
test.
your phone? Hold on.
Okay.
Gotta save Lori.
And specific to what he's talking about, feel free to just drop your questions in and we'll do our best to get them answered. All right. You ready?
I am about ready. Yes, there you go.
All right, cool.
Make sure you. Oh, come on. Okay, that should be good.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Now we're ready to go. All right. Well, first off, dude, thank you for your contribution to the group. You're a unlike Lance and some others, you are a breath of fresh air. You really are.
Right.
You really are helpful with the and you're proactive about it. You don't just wait to be asked. I mean, I really do appreciate that, and it means a lot. I want to thank you for that. And you share a lot of really good insight. We only talked just a little bit about you and your background before you came on, so a lot of this is going to be new to me. But let's talk about that a second. So you lived here. How long did you live in Hawaii?
So I lived here from 74 until 87. I was in kindergarten when I moved here, and I was here through my second year of college.
Yeah, so very much formative years.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And what's one of the things that allows me to know the stuff I know, because I went to school here.
Yeah, and you learned it right from when you learned to talk and walk. And,
yeah, because elementary school here, you sing Hawaii Pono'i at the beginning of the school day. And they teach you all of the ancient Hawaiian games, and they teach you Hawaiian. You take a Hawaiian history class, and you learn all that stuff along the way, just like you'd learn U.S. history on the mainland. Yeah. So some of that I retain, some of it, I'm a history buff, so I like to learn about history. So I just keep up and learn more as I go along.
That's cool. That's excellent. I didn't even realize that until you said that. Of course, you know Hawaiian history. I would like to do a stream with you, maybe on a panel sometime, of just talking about Hawaiian history, because especially from your perspective, I think that'd be awesome. Mm-hmm. So what part of town, did you live in Waikiki, or where did you go?
I lived in Aiea.
Oh, Aiea. Where's that? I know where is it from Waikiki?
So from Waikiki, pretty much everybody on stream knows I get to the airport. and where Pearl Harbor, where the Arizona Memorial is. So my house was up on the hill overlooking the Arizona Memorial.
Oh,
So
wow.
if you're at the Arizona Memorial and you look up straight up the hill, straight up the mountains, I lived up on that hill, and then so Aloha Stadium was off to the side, and we looked directly down on the side of the Arizona Memorial.
Wow, that's crazy. That's great.
So that's where we live.
And did you spend a lot of time out like in that area, like the Aloha Stadium,
I went to school at Radford, and Radford High School is right up Salt Lake Boulevard from the stadium. And in fact, my high school team, when they had a championship game,
right,
they would play that at Aloha Stadium.
Oh, okay.
And then when they used to do the Pro Bowl, the AFC team practiced.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
They practiced on our football field.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
I still wish they had the Pro Bowl here.
So do I.
Yeah. It was such a great revenue stream here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, I guess for the NFL, it wasn't a big moneymaker, and the players didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they want to come here, but on their own terms.
Yeah, they didn't want to come here and have to play a football game.
So growing up in Hawaii, people would say, "Man, everything's got to be perfect. It's got to be wonderful. Go to the beach every day, surf, don't have to get a job." What are some of the fun things about growing up in Hawaii that you really look back on and fondly?
This. I enjoy just being here. Just this. I don't know how it is that as a kid you get acclimated to the place that you grew up.
Yeah.
But everywhere else I've lived doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And as soon as I step off the plane here, I just immediately know that I'm where I'm supposed to be.
You feel that home connection.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Immediately.
You probably feel it a lot differently than others, I know, but you know that feeling I talk about as a visitor, like even first-time visitors, when they come here, it's sometimes the first day, the first week, there's a point in time when it clicks that, man, I've been here before, something. I think everybody feels that.
The feeling of aloha and all that, that's all real.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a real thing,
yeah.
And so unless you're just a jerk, which some tourists are, then if you have any feeling at all toward the people and the culture and the place, yeah, you get that. I mean, my daughter, when we started out, when she came, she was all about how she was back home. And I talked to her and she was really pissed off. Yeah. But I was like, look, that's just not the way it is here.
Yeah.
And she took a beat and started, getting into it and talking to some of the locals, and man, she just absolutely loves it here now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool. I was surprised to say that because when we first started that trip, I was like, oh God, this is going to be hell. But it worked out. She was happy.
What are some things as a kid you remember doing that were just really fond memories? Like going fishing? Did you surf? How much was the beach part of your lifestyle growing up?
We boogie boarded a lot. The beach was there. It was normal. It's weird. It's weird to say that, we went to the beach probably once a month. It wasn't like every day. I wasn't a beach bum all the time.
Yeah.
Every summer, our dad would rent a cabin at Bellows for a week, and so we'd go over there and we'd spend a whole week at a cabin at Bellows over there. And just hang out at the beach.
That's a different place.
Yeah, so we'd do that for a week every summer, and then as a teenager, when I was finally able to drive, we would go out and have weekend beach parties. Just pitch tents and hang out at the beach and have a campfire and do our thing for the weekend. So it was a good part of it. But I worked and I went to school, and so you've only got weekends and evenings to do the stuff that when you're on vacation you're doing all day long.
Right.
But we did do all the tourist things that were available back then. I remember, and I've talked to Janet about it, I remember going to the Arizona Memorial when it was just a little metal cover up and you just walked up and got on the boat and went out to the Memorial, and that was it. That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's
a lot different.
Yeah, now. And I've watched that grow, over the years. Just, in the 80s, they built the theater and you went and saw the movie first, and now it's the whole museum. And then they brought in the Missouri and the Bofin and everything. So it's just grown up and gotten more and more over the years. And then back then there was Paradise Park up there by Manoa Falls. Yeah. And you'd go there and watch the bird shows with the parrots and all of that. And Waimea Falls Park was actually a privately owned park where you went in. I didn't know that. Yeah, and then they, I guess, as I understand it, the owners donated that back to to the city or back to the state.
Right, and then they made it the park that
yeah,
it
and
is
they made
now.
it the park that it is now. But
Yeah.
yeah, it used to be a privately held thing as well. So
Excellent.
so those are all, all things that we did. And then we used to cruise down here in Waikiki. My dad would drive down here when we were little, and we kept doing that when we were older, just to come down here and watch the tourists and see what was
Watch the tourists.
Oh yeah, we were talking about it this morning that I every time I see people that are dressed alike in aloha shirts and stuff, it makes me laugh because that's a big joke for us.
Yeah.
that you can always tell the tourists because they're dressed in matching aloha garb.
Right. Well, you've seen even in the short time you're here, you've seen the skyline change, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
I mean, just the changes with the Marriott and some of these other hotels, and even the Prince and all that down there being changed from the hospital to the.
Well, I mean, I was here when Lyland was painting the Wailing Wall that's now gone. That was on the side. That was on the side of the. I think that's the hospital. I think that's actually the Kaiser hospital
that's right.
building.
Yeah. Okay. I know.
He had a Wailing Wall on the side of that building.
Yeah.
And I went down and watched him work on painting that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot.
And then when they built the Prince Hotel, they covered it up.
Yeah.
And then he did the other one over by the airport, and there's another one on another building over here.
Oh, here by Ala Moana and Kalakaua.
But the original one was over there, right there, on side of the theater. The theater was in the bottom of that building. There was a movie theater down there. So
when you left from college, I thought that you had not been back. I thought this was your first time back, but you've been back quite a number of times.
I've been back. Was six. This is, I think, the sixth time.
Sixth time
I've been back, but I hadn't been back for 25 years. So when I left, my dad was getting divorced from my stepmom, and he had taken another job in Colorado. And I was going to college, and I was working for Exotic Rental Car here in Waikiki. And he said, well, he didn't want to go alone. He said, I'll ship your car and keep paying for college if you'll go with me. And I looked at I looked at what it was going to cost to stay, and support myself. And it was going to be, working 2-3 jobs and not having any time to do anything. And I was like, yeah, no, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah. So
didn't take a lot of convincing.
So I went with him, and then it was 6 months. I met her.
Yeah.
Like 6 months after I moved to Colorado. And then a year later we're married, and then we're having kids. And so we did the whole, raise your kids and do all of that before I ever got back here. So it was quite a while. But the funny thing is there's a lot that's the same. There's the buildings change and the names of the hotels change and new buildings go up. I mean, Kaka'ako is like completely different.
Oh yeah, Kaka'ako was nothing. I mean, it was just like the little. Back when I first came, it was like not even. It wasn't even mentioned as a district.
Yeah,
it's like you drove through it and it was like, okay, whatever.
That's where the car dealerships were.
Yeah,
it was out there along that stretch.
Yeah.
But Fisherman's Wharf was there, and Ward Warehouse was out there.
Yeah.
And now all those high rises that you actually mentioned on the street.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's all different. But you get further out, and all the roads are the same, and everything looks the same. If I drive through Salt Lake and out by my high school, and all that's like almost identical to what it was.
You can probably be dropped off on any one of the highway going around and know exactly where you're at.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You actually said something on the stream one time where you said that I used to just drive around every week and drive around I did that same thing when I was out here a lot. I had a rental car or whatever. I wouldn't think about it. I'd go on a hike, come back, take a shower, get in the car, and just drive. Sometimes just to mix it up, I'd drive south to north and then north to south and back and forth and over.
Yep.
That's the best way to learn any place, really.
Yeah. But that's what we did yesterday. We had to go to the swap meet yesterday morning to get a few more things because we went the other day. And so we went to the swap meet, did a circle around the swap meet, got the stuff we needed, and jumped in the car and drove took H3 over and went to Bioto Inn.
Yeah.
And we had to pick up a Lucky Cat for her mom at Bioto Inn, and their gift shop has a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So we got
the real deal ones.
Yeah. We got that, and we fed the fish and everything. And I talked to the head of security over there. I don't know if you saw that picture, but.
Oh, was it the
duck?
No, oh, that's right. Yeah. I was actually thinking about someone that actually put a security guard's picture, but that wasn't you.
No, there was one male mallard that was walking around. And I was like, that's the head of security right there. That's him. So I snapped a picture of him. But we did that, and then I pulled out of there and just headed around east and North Shore. Went over to Matsumoto's and had a shave ice.
There you go.
Drove out to
Nice.
Cayena Point just so she could see it. Didn't do the hike, but we drove out as far as you could go on
Yeah.
Barrington Highway out there. So
I love that. We did that stream just the other day.
yeah, so I get around. I know my way around, so I just get in the car and go.
That's good. That's got to be a blessing to not get lost. So let's talk about this trip. How long are you staying, and where did you stay?
So
I think everybody knows because you're.
Well, the other day when you were yelling for him, everybody on the stream's like, he's on the second floor. He's on the second floor, and it's like, I think they know where I'm at. But
I don't know. I thought you were on the end, like at the top or at the top in the middle towards.
Yeah,
your
my
back
brother was.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where Dave was. He had a penthouse up at the top. But,
okay.
So we stayed there because he stays there. He
Yeah.
stays there all the time, and this is the first time we've stayed in Waikiki since 2014.
Oh wow.
We've always rented a condo over at Turtle Bay.
Oh okay.
So, and not to
How did that compare? I mean, if you had your choice, having just stayed here or Turtle Bay, if everything was the same cost-wise, which did you prefer?
Turtle Bay.
Wow. Really?
Yep. Oh yeah.
That's a shocker.
And
why is that?
A caveat for that though.
Okay.
I would pick Turtle Bay because I know my way around.
Yeah.
So if you were new here and didn't know your way around driving, that would be more stressful to have to always figure out where you were going.
Right.
But I drive it, by
Blind,
osmosis.
Yeah.
I can go back and forth at will, and so I don't worry about it.
Right.
But
Okay.
it's quieter over there, and so you can come over here and do anything you want in Waikiki. Go to Pearl Harbor, go to
drive over there for the peace
and go over there, and then at 9 o'clock at night, it's quiet and it's dark, and you can see the stars.
Yeah.
And those condos back up to the golf course over there, so your door opens up to the green lawn out there. So
yeah, it's beautiful over there.
yeah,
Too.
and so cost-wise, with the parking that I paid for it, because I always rent a car for my whole stay, with the parking, this was about the same price as it would have been to stay in one of those condos.
Wow.
And those condos have a parking space.
So you're staying here for 10 days?
Yeah.
And do you mind saying how much you paid?
So
you don't have to say if you don't want
my
to.
room with a combine rate was $3,200 for the 10 days.
So $3,200 for 10 days, okay.
And then another $400 for parking. So basically $3,600 if you had
where
a
did
car.
you park?
There's a basement parking underneath
Oh,
there. So when you walk down that walkway that has
I've
the
seen that
glass
all the
blocks,
yeah.
that's those windows go into the basement parking underneath the hotel.
What about that parking caddy corner from there? That's like $200.
So that's Jerusi, right? That's run by the Army.
Yeah.
And I could park over there and it'd be cheaper, but I can't guarantee that I'd get a spot in that surface lot. So I might have to park in the multi-story structure all the way down by Hilton Hawaiian Village.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to walk back and forth on that.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
I opted to just pay more to have my car right there in the basement, because we go somewhere like all the time.
Right. And have to run back and forth.
Yeah, we drove down here.
It's tough making her to run back there to go get it, right?
We drove down here and parked across the street at International Marketplace and walked over.
Oh, did you really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Boy, you're wearing that car out.
Yeah, because she doesn't do well with long walks. I tried to beat her up going to the swap meet twice. So
yeah. So you stayed here 10 days. It's at the Waikiki shore.
Yeah.
$3,200, did you say?
That's what I paid.
And how much was your airfare?
Our airfare, I was watching for probably 2 months, and about 6 months ago, a deal popped up on Alaska for $613 round trip in premium economy.
God dang.
So
that's cheap.
Yeah.
So what you're saying? Did you book your room first and then?
No, I booked my flight first.
Oh, okay. So you looked for a deal, found the deal, and then okay. Because I was going to say, because some people were talking about doing that this weekend. They find the best hotel and then they try and find the airline or something. But
yeah, so I use Google Flights, and have a running search on Google Flights that emails me like every time that the price of a flight changes.
Right.
On the date.
That's great.
On the dates that I want to go.
Right.
And then I also regularly every other day or so, I'll go to like United and Alaska and Southwest and everybody, and I'll look and see what their rates are for a block of time,
right?
Not just a specific week.
Okay.
And so I was looking like February and March, and so this particular flight popped up, and I was like, well, that's super cheap.
Yeah.
And so I just booked it, and then I found the place to stay the same
That's
dates.
really good.
Yeah.
And what airline was it?
It's Alaska.
Oh, it
It
was
was Alaska
Alaska.
Airlines.
And was it a direct from Denver to here or Denver?
No,
LA?
it was originally Denver to Seattle and Seattle to here.
Oh,
And then there was a massive windstorm that was going to go through Denver
that's
on
right.
the day that
Yeah.
I was leaving. And
Yeah.
so I changed the first flight and ended up going to Phoenix and then to Seattle the night before and
Oh,
staying
no.
over and then catching my original flight. So it was it was a bit grueling, but it wasn't. I mean, we got here the same time we were supposed to and commenced with all
Hawaii.
of this.
Yeah, you got here anyway. So,
Yeah. I didn't
okay.
lose a day of my vacation for sure. So that was my main goal. I
Yeah.
didn't want to get stuck sitting in Denver and Seattle or something and lose a day of my vacation for it.
So you're about 4,300 or so roundabout.
Yeah,
here,
plus
just for-
600 for the car.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay.
So I was same thing with the car, right?
Less than 5
I
without amenities and drinks.
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. And that's usually what it costs me. Depending on where I stay, I usually look for a deal that gets me in right around $5,000 for the two of us.
So I actually know a lot of things been doing because you've been mentioning it and doing a great job posting it. So you've done the trolley, the catamaran. What are some of the things you've done that you really, really like?
So the Star of Honolulu.
Oh, that's right.
Whale watch.
Yeah.
That we won. My brother Dave did go on that with us.
Yeah.
And we saw one whale, but the one whale we saw was super active.
Yeah.
And he was out there.
I remember seeing those.
Yeah, he was out there slapping his tail and carrying on, and then he came and he went right behind the ship. And she got some pictures of him crossing right behind the ship, and then he went over by that other tour boat and breached right out of the water.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that. Yeah. The glass bottom boat. Right,
Yeah.
the pink one. Yeah.
Yep,
Nice.
he breached right next to that boat, and I happened to get that.
Yeah, that was a
get that on
great shot.
film, too,
I
so.
thought that was a stock shot, and I actually go, no, he took that shot.
Yeah, that was a super cool experience, and we had done it before. We had been on it twice before, actually, right? We went with
the Star of Honolulu.
Yeah.
Oh,
we went with Jordan and we went with your mom.
Yeah.
And so we had been on there twice on their whale watching cruise. I've never done a dinner cruise on there, but I've done their whale watching twice.
How was the experience in getting across the ship and going from one side to another? And because I think the perception is that if you're on the boat, you have to sit in a chair.
Oh no,
And
no,
you can't-
you have free reign to walk anywhere you want on that.
Oh, okay,
boat.
good.
Yeah, and there's some spots where you have to like walk forward and then go around and then go all the way back. You know, just the way that it's laid out. But
Right. And you're dealing with wildlife, so who knows what's going to happen? So
yeah. So I mean, we just stood on the rail on either side, and if the whale was on one side or on the other, we'd walk around and go to the other side of the ship. So
that's good.
but it was smooth sailing. It was great. It was an awesome trip. So
what about?
Thank you.
Oh, you're very, very
got the
welcome. You're very
passes
welcome.
from you.
No, you're very welcome. I'm happy to do it. So what about the catamaran? So as you guys, most of you guys that are watching already know he did the fireworks and sunset cruise. But the Holokai has the trade winds, the Turtle Canyon, and they had the sunset. And then on Fridays, they have the sunset and fireworks. And there's a lot of debate on which one is the best one. What do you think of that? Because have you done other catamaran sails?
I've done the one at Kualoa Ranch.
Okay.
I've done the one that goes out on Kaneohe Bay at
All right.
Kualoa Ranch. And I love that.
Did
So
you like this one? The
this
fireworks?
was better. This was
Really?
way better.
Yeah.
So to put a downward trend on it right off the bat, the one thing I didn't like was that Holokai's office is in the back of the outrigger.
Yeah.
And to get to the boat, they walk you all the way out the front of the outrigger, down
Past
all the
Halekulani.
way across the Halekulani, and then back down that walkway you always take between the Sheraton and the Halekulani.
Yeah.
And that's a haul. That's a pretty good
Now,
walk to haul around there. Well, let's for her.
Let's go on a haul. Let's go on a haul after this. I'll show you what it's like.
Not for you.
No, but that's the only doubt. But that's the only.
Yeah, that's it.
availability.
Man, the cruise was awesome.
Yeah.
So we got out there, got on the boat, and they got, and most of the group's probably seen the pictures, but they got the blue lights on there, and the atmosphere is really cool, and everything's dark, and you can see all the lights of Waikiki, and everything, and then the lights of all the other boats.
And no Neil Young, for God's
no
sake.
Neil Young, it was great.
Exactly,
no Neil Young.
perfect.
And then
that was the one thing I was worried about.
Yeah, Captain Mitchell rolled us over there, like right in line, right in front of the Aloha Tower.
They do such a great job.
Oh, it was awesome.
Who's the other one? The Nahoku. They always try and fight to get the best spot, and there is one little spot that's good.
Yeah, but it was really, really cool.
That's neat.
Then my brother didn't get to go on that with us, and then some Canadians that we met at our hotel.
I'm sorry.
Went out.
They're usually can identify them and avoid them, but go ahead.
They went out this morning on the Turtle Canyon.
Yeah.
And we talked to them just before we came over here, and they were just raving about it. And so now they're going to go again tomorrow. They're going to go do it again tomorrow.
The Turtle Canyon?
Yeah, they're going to do it again because the kids loved it so much that they're going to go do it again tomorrow.
I was supposed to do that this Thursday, but now I can't do it. So I'm going to do it probably next Thursday.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah. But yeah, there's I don't hear anything bad about that. Doing the snorkeling, the turtles, and the sea life down there, it's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing.
So we have a standing rule. Lori makes me do something new every time we come. Because
is that the haircut or no?
Yeah, no. So because I grew because I grew up here.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just hang out.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just hang out and go drive around and just enjoy the fact that I'm here. So she
Yeah.
makes me do something new every time we come. And so
do I need to cover up the lens?
No,
oh no, okay.
No. So that was one of the, and you know, the fact that we won the passes and stuff, that's new stuff for me. I mean,
yeah.
I've done similar things, but they're things I haven't done.
Yeah.
And so then we went and toured the Bowfin submarine because I had never been on that, and that was really cool. Surprising how small everything is inside that thing.
Well, you're a big guy, so I mean, going through those, I saw the photo of you going through that port. I'm like, what in the? Better be glad one, you weren't in the military like that, and that there wasn't an emergency. They had killed you. They said Dale's dead.
Yeah.
Dale died. He's over the side or something.
They had stuffed me in a torpedo tube and shot me out of the sub.
So what about you did the trolley too?
Yeah, we did. We ran over and we did the blue line and went out that way, and we didn't get off because I can drive to wherever the hell it is I want to go. So we just did it for the tour and
which color was it?
We did the blue line out South Shore. Yeah, and that was really cool because I'm always driving. Yeah. So we were sitting on there, and I can look down and see all of the lava and the water coming up that's right there next to the highway that I don't see from the driver's perspective all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so that was
I like that nice. Part of it too.
Yeah, so do I. I think
I want to when I do that, I'm in a car. You want to drive and look over, but you could pull off on any one of those little outlets, the little lookouts, and the view is otherworldly.
It's the color of the blue of the water right now. Oh my God. Yeah, it's so pretty. Yeah, it's just so pretty. So we did that, and we got back to Waikiki, and the red line was sitting right there in front of us. And we're like, okay, well, let's jump on there. So we jumped on the red line.
Oh my God! When you said you did back to backs, I thought maybe a long one or a short one. You did the two longest ones.
Yeah. So
that's brutal to do.
We just got off the one and ran over, got on the other one, and did the red line, and went out through all the historic buildings downtown and up the Punch Bowl. And isn't
that beautiful though? The way they mention it, the story. I mean, you probably have heard all that, but it's almost like a tour guide.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're so informative and so nice, and they go all the way through the Punch Bowl. It's just, and they pay respects. They kind of slow down. I think it's
so
beautiful.
Our driver on the red line was Auntie Elena, and she's Native Hawaiian and speaks fluent Hawaiian. And so when we got to the entrance to Punch Bowl, she said a prayer.
Oh, I've been with that lady.
She said a prayer in Hawaiian.
She's good.
And when we stopped down by the statue in the palace, we were talking to her, and she said that she's got family interred there, and I was telling her that my dad's up there. Yeah. So that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
That was neat.
It's I don't mind saying it. I was actually there. We were doing a live stream, and she says we'll do a little prayer. Starts to do the prayer. I start getting chills.
Oh yeah,
all over me, and I'm just like, I don't understand a word she's saying.
Doesn't matter.
But the spirit in which she's saying it, she believed it.
Yeah,
you know, and it just oh man, it just touches you.
Yeah, it was really that was really cool. And I mean, I personally felt like it was for my dad as well as everybody else.
Yeah,
because he's up there. So I got to see him twice because we went up there with my brother and saw him, and then got to ride around the trolley too. So
that's good.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
So did you spend, I know you did, but tell us about the time you spent at Haleiwa.
We were there twice.
Oh, okay.
The first day we went to Teddy's and had burgers at Teddy's out there.
Hang on a second. I want to interrupt this for a second. He went to Teddy's. He did not go to Seven Brothers, Janet. He did not go to Seven Brothers. Okay, go ahead. Explain yourself.
It's on a schedule. I can blame it on her. Yeah.
All right.
She finds
on
Seven Brothers too messy, and so she didn't want to go to Seven Brothers because it's too messy. And we've been several times because we stay at Turtle Bay all the time. So every time we stay at Turtle Bay, we go to Seven Brothers like twice or three times, and so we decided that it was probably worth it to bypass it this time and went to Teddy's instead. But when we went to Teddy's, that was filling. I mean, you get a huge burger there. And so we didn't get shave ice at Matsumoto's because we were full from eating lunch.
Yeah.
And the line was long because it was in the afternoon. It was still spring break. And so we said, yeah, we'll skip that. So we walked around the shops a little bit, and then we came back to town. Yeah, and we had to get back in time. We had to get back and do the Holokai. So we did that, and then yesterday when we went on our little road trip, we stopped and had Matsumoto's and did our thing out there yesterday. So, and that's why I couldn't be on the stream. I was cutting in and out because I was driving along the North Shore when you guys were streaming yesterday.
So what did you do after the day after that? The day after the fireworks?
What did we do? Was that the day we went? The fireworks was Friday. So Saturday. What did we do Saturday? Shit, I don't know what we did Saturday.
Well, I'll ask you this: what trolleys?
The trolley. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
We did the trolley.
All right.
And on Thursday is when we toured Iolani Palace.
Oh, okay.
We did
Good. Well, that kind of goes right into what I was going to say. I was going to ask you, having lived here and already being a tourist again, what are some of the top three things that you would absolutely positively recommend for a first-time visitor? Places to go, just like activities, events, whether it's a catamaran or fireworks or what are the top three things?
I would definitely say you got to go to Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
If you plan on buying any souvenirs at all that aren't, high-end expensive stuff, go to the swap meet.
Okay.
Because it's an experience.
Okay.
You're out there amongst the locals. You're out in the
food
all
trucks.
Open air.
There's food trucks.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's a really cool way to spend 2-3 hours. It doesn't take that long to do it.
Yeah.
So it's cheap. It's $2 a person to get in.
Yeah.
So that's always one that I would recommend. Now that I've done the Holokai, I would definitely recommend that.
Yeah.
If you're here at whale watching season, do a whale watching trip.
Yeah.
Because if you get lucky, it's just spectacular to go do it. And I always want to get on the water. So, anytime you can get out on the water is awesome. So,
on the other side, are there any things that you would avoid if you had 5 days here? Are there any things you would just say it's not worth it?
I absolutely would never tell anybody to go to Dole.
We agree on that.
That thing is just a waste of time.
Okay. Don't go to Dole.
Don't go to Dole. And being the anti-tourist that I am, I'm against expensive restaurants for the most part. I eat local.
We're going to do that next. We're going to do the restaurant thing.
I eat local. So for the most part, but get out of here is my big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is what you want, if you want to stay down in Waikiki and have the hustle and bustle and all that, then by all means, it's great. The weather's still the same.
Right.
But
nice bars, nice beaches.
Yeah.
Nice
But
weather.
if you get out and go tour around the other side of that, that's where all the scenery is, and it's and all the beauty of Oahu that you can get on the other islands. But if you're here, go over there.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right. Excellent. All right. Now let's talk about food. I saw Wendy's probably on here, so I'm sure she's soaking all this up. Oh, there she is. Kailua Wendy's right there. So let's talk about, she says has great restrooms at Dole Plantation and great snacks. All right. So let's talk about food.
Okay.
What's some of because I know Lori doesn't eat local. She likes to eat local.
She gets forced to.
Oh, okay. So what are some of the things you've eaten here that has been really memorable?
I always go to Rainbow more than once. I have to agree with you though.
Yeah.
That on this trip, their mac salad was subpar.
Yeah. What did you have?
I've had the barbecue beef plate, and I've had a Loco Moco over there because we've been there twice.
So, do you go there because the nostalgia, or do you like it because it really is good?
Well, I like their food, and like I say, normally it's been of the quality that I'm used to. But the mac salad's been a little weird this time, and that bothers me a little bit. But the nostalgia is the big thing for me, because when we used to cruise Waikiki, we'd head over to Rainbow and stop and have food over there. Yeah, and it's just a thing, And so
I get it.
And it's a little weird to me that it's now become a tourist stop, because back in the day it wasn't. It was a locals stop.
You can go there. I've been there a bunch, and you're there on like a Friday afternoon, and you could tell like the family's gotten off of work, and and you see the father. I love that. I love that nostalgic side of it. But the food is not. I can remember 10, 15 years ago, I would go there. The burger was like big and sizable, and I think just like a lot of things have just kind of changed, and it's just not as good as it used to be.
Well, the price of the food, the supplies has gone up, and they're trying to keep their prices down.
Right.
It's cheaper than just about anywhere else around.
That is right. That is right. Yeah.
And then but we've also gone to Zippy's, and I think Zippy's quality at this point, at least this visit, is actually better than what Rainbow was.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I've had hamburger steak plate and chili and rice and Portuguese bean soup at Wendy's.
Yeah.
Or at Zippy's. At Zippy's.
Yeah.
And I've eaten there more than I've eaten at Rainbow this time, which is usually the opposite.
Yeah.
And then, like I told you on the stream, I had never been to Highway Inn.
That's crazy.
And when I was growing up here, there was no Highway Inn in Kaka'ako. That one wasn't there. Highway Inn was out in Waipahu.
Yeah.
And I never went out to Waipahu, really. Yeah. It was.
And just so people know, Waipahu it's not like an eternity away from Aiea.
No, it's right next door. It's right next door.
But you didn't go there. That's funny.
But all of my activities for the most part were this direction.
Yeah.
From there, so I would be down at Pearl Ridge, and Pearl City was about as far as I needed to go to do anything, or coming this way.
Yeah.
So I worked down here in Waikiki and at the airport. And so I never really had to go that way. Now, there were a couple times, there were some specialty stores and stuff out there. I got parts for my bug out there at there was a VW store out there.
Right. Okay.
And back in that day, the sugar factory out there was still operational, So drove out there for some stuff. And then when we were little kids, there was a place out there called Red Baron Pizza that my dad liked to go.
Oh, okay.
And so we would make a special trip to Waipahu just to go to Red Baron Pizza. But other than that, I didn't spend a lot of time out that way. And that's starting to get out on the west side. And that's where I tell people, you can drive out there to go see it, but I don't recommend you hang around out on the west side of the island.
It's not.
It's a locals community.
And they want to keep it that way.
And they want to keep it that way. Yeah, absolutely they do. So I don't ever recommend that people spend a lot of time out there.
Yeah.
So
talking about the food, you went to Giovanni's pastrami. Yeah.
Twice.
You think? Oh, did you?
Twice? Yeah, we went there twice.
And what'd you think of it?
Oh, I love it. It's excellent.
Nice.
The staff is awesome. We were talking before we came on the stream that our server is like 8 months pregnant, and she was doing everything she could, and they got our food out of order, and they brought out our entrees before our appetizers and everything. And then the manager happens up to the table, and turns out the manager is from Aiea, where I'm from.
Oh, nice.
And so we got to talking about that. So we're talking story at the table and just having a good old time. And our server saw that, and then she comes running back over thinking that we were throwing her under the bus for everything being wrong. We're like, oh, no.
Yeah.
No, that's not a big deal. I mean, they were super busy. I mean, we waited, 35 minutes to get in that first night. Mm-hmm. And so, if you're that busy, something happens. If you fix it, it's good.
Yeah. Plus you're in Hawaii. Who cares?
So what the hell, right?
Yeah.
So
what did you have there that was excellent, that you really liked?
She really liked the bacon wrapped mushrooms. I didn't have them. She had them.
Okay.
And then
he can't explain why he didn't. I don't know why he says that, but go ahead.
I'm not gone yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gone yet.
And it's right down the street from your place.
That's right. And I've been jonesing for a Reuben, because we had a diner in our hometown that shut down, and they had a really good Reuben, and I haven't had a good Reuben for a while.
Have you had one here, or did you have?
I had one there.
And was it good?
That was excellent.
Oh,
was absolutely excellent.
What's that? It's the place right back here behind me. It's Wendy. What's the name of this deli? She'll tell me. She'll mention it. Do you know what it's called right here? It's like Pie. It's right there.
I don't know it.
They're really good. Really good. What else have you eaten that you really liked?
Well, the fried rice and the fried yakisoba noodles at Highway Inn were
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh my! Did you happen to try the loco moco there at Highway?
I did not try the one,
God,
but
it is so good.
the only loco moco I've actually had was over at Rainbow, and to be honest, the reason I've been staying away from them is because they're heavy.
Yeah.
They're a heavy meal.
You eat it once a day.
Yeah, and
You know?
I've been eating 3 meals a day here, and I normally don't even eat breakfast.
Yeah.
But we've gone to eggs and things like
I was going to ask you
different
that.
times. So
By
that's
the way,
where we were this morning for breakfast, was at eggs and things. However, little
you were thinking
caveat
the other
for
day,
you
right?
folks. I haven't eaten at the one over here or the one on Saratoga.
And they're both like 3 blocks away.
Yeah,
You go to the one.
I drive to the one at Ala Moana.
That's at the other end, right?
Yeah, it's at the far end of Ala Moana.
Yeah. I know.
We drive over there, and
why do you do that?
no wait, no wait.
And you have a car.
Yep, we drove over there and walked in, and they put us at a table, and we sat down and ordered. And there's usually, I don't know about this one, but the one at Saratoga, there's usually like an hour wait to get seated, and then they're crazy busy.
How is the food there, though?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah,
the food is so great.
Yeah,
all kinds of local options, and I had fried rice and eggs this morning for breakfast over there. So thank you.
Did you have the pastrami sliders or Reuben sliders?
No, I had the pastrami Reuben. I had the full pastrami Reuben.
Lance says you're not wrong about the loco moco. So did you go to any of the other like member fan favorites, the Genius Lounge?
We did go to Genius Lounge.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we went to Genius
I didn't
Lounge.
see that.
The first night, right? It was the first night we were here.
Did you post about it?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you think of it? Honest engine.
You had a problem. We had a problem.
What was it?
So the first problem I had with it was the way their menu is laid out is very difficult to read and understand what it is they're offering, what you're ordering.
Really?
They use weird fonts, different colors, and it's hard to navigate their menu.
Okay.
But
see, I like hearing this. I like that differing opinion because others are going to have that same view. You know, some people don't, some people do.
So my brother played it safe. He got garlic shrimp because it's easy to tell what garlic shrimp are, and
okay.
And I got the what's that? Oh yeah, and he didn't like the fact that they were peel and eat.
Oh, peel and eat shrimp. Yeah, you wanted it already. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
I got the Kahlua pork nachos, and I got the Hawaiian.
Did you like those?
Yeah, they were good. They were unexpected because I had never had them before, and I didn't expect them to be sweet.
You've had Kahlua pork.
I've had Kahlua pork, but not Kahlua pork nachos.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
And they were actually a sweet flavor, not a spicy flavor. They were great, but it was an unexpected taste. And then I had the Hawaiian ribeye.
Oh, I have not had that.
That comes out on a skewer with peppers and onions and everything. And
I didn't even see that. I think I'm gonna have
that. That was super good. And the barbecue sauce, the dipping sauce that they send with it. Oh my God. Oh, it was really, really good.
I didn't know you guys went to Genius. Why did you post about it?
Yeah, I didn't take a lot of pictures. It was the first night, and I snapped a picture. We were sitting out on the lanai, and I kind of snapped a picture looking into the restaurant, but that was really the only photo that I took. Right. But I did put a post about it. But people weren't paying attention to me back then. I wasn't internet famous at that point. So.
But now, oh yeah, Michelle Boyle. She loved those nachos. She thought those were the best things.
Yeah, they're really good.
Did you go to any place like the Deck or any? No.
No. Okay. Giovanni's and Genius Line's are the only two places down here in Waikiki that we've gone.
Okay. All right.
Except but that's not Waikiki. We always go to Old Spaghetti Factory.
Oh, you did this one at Aloha?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
we've
actually been there twice.
Gee,
but
I love this guy, man. You just
when
you
like
it.
Old Spaghetti Factory is nostalgic to me. Unfortunately, this is a new location.
You're
the original location was in the Ward Warehouse, and it was there in the 1970s and 80s.
Right, it's forever.
And I took some of my first dates in high school.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I did. Took some of my.
Do you have pictures we could see? Does
no.
Lori have them? Lori, could you pull those up, please?
So I used to go to that restaurant way back when I first was able to drive.
You were a player then, man.
Yeah.
You pull up
and
open your Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah.
Open the door for her.
I had a Volkswagen Bug.
I know. I heard you say that. I'm picking up what you're putting down, brother.
Yeah. So I used to go there, and one of the reasons is because free parking. The Ward Warehouse, you could pull in and park right underneath the restaurant, take the escalator up and go eat.
Yeah.
And then we'd go see a movie or whatever, wherever we were going. But
well, it depends on how well that dinner went there, eh, Dale?
yeah, right, exactly right. Yeah.
Sorry, Lori.
But Old Spaghetti Factory historically is fairly inexpensive.
Yeah.
I mean, we had dinner the other night. It was both our dinners and calamari as an appetizer, and it was $80, I think.
Wow.
For all of it.
Yeah.
So
have you been into Ward lately?
Into the area?
Yeah. No, the mall and all that.
I haven't been in there.
Yeah. It's sad. I mean, it's sad because there are a lot of businesses still in there.
Yeah.
And you go in there and it's a tiny mall. It's really closed in.
Yeah, it's closed in.
And it's just not great. It's just not great.
Yeah, I like the way it used to be, but I mean.
But that's back whenever you were a kid.
Nostalgia stuff, I always thought Ward Warehouse was cool the way it was built with the timbers and everything, and it was rustic looking. It was supposed to be supposed to look like a warehouse there along the waterfront.
Yeah.
Of Kewalo Basin, by the way. That area over there where the food truck event is.
Oh,
that's Kewalo Basin. That's what I was trying to tell you on the street.
Okay. I got you.
That's Kewalo Basin.
All right.
And while I'm on that subject, it's Kaimu Key.
Oh my God, that's exactly what I was going to say.
It's Kaimu Key.
See, Dale has an issue with his pronunciation. He's called me up a few times to just get it down right before his trip out here. So it's Kaimu Key, right?
Yeah, it's Kaimu Key.
Kaimu Key, yeah. See, Janet?
What am I doing?
My gift.
Oh, I've got your. That's what you're trying to tell me.
She's giving him a high sign, and I have not. I swear I've not seen this. And Janet, I swear to God, you're coming out here sooner than later. He said, "I got this approved by the godmother."
I did.
So you're on. He's not going to be in trouble, Janet. I'm going to see you soon.
Okay, so this is for you.
Does it say
from the auditor?
Okay. I have not seen this before. Should I have somebody cover up their eyes? Should I have Lucille cover her eyes?
This is a shirt for Tony from the auditor.
Oh my God, look at that. All words end in a vowel. Every consonant is followed by at least one vowel. Every syllable ends in a... I love that. I will wear that. Let me see that. Let me see that.
I saw that and I was like, that's a shirt Tony needs for sure.
Oh, for sure. Example, Kai is C. Kai is to lead. I love that. That's excellent. And there's a $200 bill on here too. See, guys, he knows how to give a gift. Well, see, Lance, when I see you, that $200.
I'm not important enough to be on an interview, so I had to bribe him to let me come on here. So,
no, man, you're actually. It's so cool to have you on to talk about It'd be great if you could talk back and forth.
Oh, there's lots of times when
you're screaming at the phone. That's stupid. Fuck is he?
No, I'd love to give a dissertation about what we're talking about. And there's no way to put that in the comments that are strolling by.
Yeah.
So,
well, I want to do that on a panel with you. We talked about that before. I want to do a panel and maybe talk more about the history and stuff, because you telling a lot of these people. I don't know if you can't see the comments. You can, but it's people like talking about how Waikiki was and and all those
the history of it.
Yeah, that's cool. So what are some other places around here that you'd recommend people going that are probably not, they're kind of off the beaten path? Anything that you can,
there's these days there's not a lot that's off the beaten path.
Yeah,
most of the places that I used to go have been discovered and people go there, but
it's been all over Instagram.
But
and whatever.
I mean,
if you guys have questions, put them in the comments here and I'll ask
I really like to get out among the locals, because that's where I feel at home. I don't feel at home down here in Waikiki. I stayed here this time, because my brother was down here, but I get out of here as much as possible. And so I would, I like to go to Pearl Ridge and go shopping at Pearl Ridge. And go hang around that area and go out to Pearl City you know,
Waikele.
yeah,
Did, did you see did you go there for the food truck event yet?
I haven't gone out there.
You would love that, because I'm telling you, I was like the only touristy type person out there the last several times I've gone. And it's kind of like that thing I was telling you about. You get that nostalgic feeling, and it's like a family. It comes and they're dressed up, the little boys, little girl, they're kind of, they're not like dressed up like church, but they went there as an event. And so they go there and they'll have dinner and then they go to the movie afterwards. But it's just cool to see that. And there were far more of those groups of people than just a guy walking around like I was streaming. And it just really kind of touches you a little bit.
And that's really the one of the things about the Ala Moana eggs and things too, is that it's not like down here. It's not full of tourists. Those are local families that are going
come right out of
they pulled in there in their car just like I did from coming from their apartment or their house or whatever, and they're coming down there to have a meal with their family.
How about
the first time we were there? She was playing with the baby at the table next to us. A local couple with their baby there.
Yeah.
So.
How about Don Quixote? Do you like going into that?
This was the first time I'd ever been in there.
Oh, you did go?
Yeah, we did go. Oh, yeah, we went. We did our initial shopping there. Got a beach umbrella in there for $16.
Yeah.
The prices are really good.
That is as local gets.
Yeah, and then
I love that place.
If you can't make it to the swap meet, they got a crap ton of souvenir stuff in that store.
And it's pretty cheap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pretty cheap.
It's actually really reasonable. So. But it was cool. I mean, I had to check it out. So,
are you allowed to hike back to Sacred Falls?
Sacred Falls.
Yeah, Sacred Falls. You talking about Sacred Falls at Waimea? Is that what you're talking about, Lori? Ask Dale if he's.
Where is Sacred Falls?
Kenny's Grill, Kenekes Grill at Puanalo.
I don't know.
Todd Johnson. I think Todd's local. Some of the questions he's asking.
Kenekes Grill?
Yeah.
Punalulu? I've never been there.
Yeah, never been. I've not heard of it. Todd has a lot of good comments, questions about local stuff. Ask Del if he's been to. Yeah, we just asked him that.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of generalities.
Yeah.
About Hawaii or about Oahu specifically, because I grew up here, but specific places, and especially places that are recent, that aren't legacy places. I don't know a lot of them because I didn't start coming back here until 10 years ago.
Yeah. And then when you come back, you're not probably delving into all the local stuff here.
Yeah, well, I'm not. Yeah.
On Maui. She's talking about the sacred pools on Maui.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that. I know a little bit about Maui, but I don't know that much.
He kind of answered that. No, since you're asking, I'll ask him. Where do you recommend people stay when they're visiting Oahu? It's kind of a repeat of before these new viewers.
I recommend you stay at the level of resort that you want amenities. Nice. So if you want the swimming pool and the cabanas and the lounge chairs and the room service and the bar right downstairs to go to like this, like the Moana or Royal Hawaiian or any of the big ones down here, then definitely do that resort thing. If you want the full-on resort, go to HHV and do that. But if your plan is to not stay in your room and go explore the island and be out and about, then find a 3-star hotel that basically has the limited amenities you want. Mm-hmm. I picked the room that I got because I wanted a washer and dryer, because I want to pack light and I want to just wash my clothes.
There's washer and dryers?
Yeah, there's a washer and dryer.
Oh, wow.
It's a 1-bedroom condo, our room. Our room is a 1-bedroom condo. So we've got a sofa and a TV and a dining set and a kitchen and a separate
I didn't
bedroom.
know that.
Yeah, it's a whole 1-bedroom condo. So we've got a washer and dryer. So we pack 5 days worth of clothes for a 10-day stay.
Yeah.
And we just do laundry. But
that's really good.
If you're sitting in your room at 9 o'clock at night just chilling, then throw in a load of laundry and do it while you're sitting there. But back to what I was saying, definitely stay to the amount of time you intend to spend in your room.
Yeah,
because you can spend a lot. You can spend a lot of money on a resort and then find out that you never did anything there.
Right.
At the Waikiki Shore, I come and go.
Yeah.
I get there at 9 o'clock at night and I watch TV for a little while and go to bed. I get up and I take a shower and get ready, and I'm back out the door going and doing something else.
Right.
And it's basically a bedroom. You know?
Or the flip side of that too, Dale, where people will come to a hotel, they'll stay here, and at the end of the trip, they're realizing, I didn't leave. I spent all here. I didn't even go to the, the west side, didn't go to the east side, didn't go down south, I didn't go to North Shore. So you can get sucked into this. And I get it. Some people don't want to go and drive.
That's right. And like I say, if you're here for the resort experience and be on the beach right here at your resort and everything, hey, more power to you. That's the type of vacation you want.
Yeah.
But if you really want to get out and see the island and stuff, and you're not going to stay in your hotel, and don't pay that rate. It's just not worth the money to pay that rate.
They're asking, did you book through the hotel or through a private owner?
I booked through Castle Resorts.
So you went directly to their website?
Yeah, so there's different companies that operate out of there because it's a condo building.
Okay.
Some of the units are actually owner occupied. They actually live in the building. And then there's some that are run by...
See, that's what I thought.
Yeah, there's some that are run by one company and some that are run by other companies. One of the couples that we met there, they went through a company where they actually had to check in down the street somewhere from the hotel and then get their key and hoof it back over to the Waikiki shore.
Okay.
I think that Castle Resorts is probably the biggest operator in there.
Yeah.
And that's who we went through.
Have you ever had any experience with Pleasant Holidays? Have you heard of them?
Yeah, they've been around since I was a kid.
Yeah, they're the biggest wholesaler of all the hotels, all the hotel rooms. They buy thousands of rooms every year. But I haven't heard of people buying through them for a long time.
No, I haven't.
It's mostly groups, but
not on our group. I haven't heard anybody mention on the group.
Never, not one person.
But we've stayed. When we've been down here, we stayed at the Aqua Palms, and it was acceptable. But it's just basic hotel room. Bed and a bathroom and a place to put your suitcase and a TV. And it's pretty bare bones. But it was inexpensive. Yeah. And then, but the location is horrible for getting in and out of because their parking lot comes out onto Anawana Boulevard out there. But it was okay. That was okay. We stayed at the Luana, and it had a kitchenette, and it was nice. It was a decent room. And
how does it compare though? Those two, if you had
Luana's way nicer than Aqua Palms.
Okay. How about where you're staying now?
Our room, to be quite honest, is a bit dated as far as decor.
Okay.
But super comfortable. It's got split air conditioners in the living room and the bedroom. And so we keep our bedroom door closed and keep it like ice cold in the bedroom for at night. And then it's super comfortable out in the living room area.
That lanai was nice.
It's got a big lanai on it. Yeah. So I've been out there hanging out, watching people walk back and forth. I took that picture. I don't know if you saw that picture of the sunset.
Yeah, I did see
it. But I took that right off of the lanai between the two trees. So,
and it's easy for whenever someone's yelling at you from the ground, you can just walk right out. And talk to them.
When somebody comes up and starts screaming for you, you can hear them and walk out.
Walk right out. Yeah, that's the best part.
That's the best part about it for sure. But of the three, I would stay at Waikiki Shore again. Of the three.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, I would absolutely.
The Aqua Palms, I've never had anything really good.
Yeah, we stayed at the Marriott once, just for one night before the cruise, and that was nice. But it's a basic hotel room again. Yeah. But the drawback I had with the Luana was the valet parking.
Oh,
it's valet only parking. And so every time you want to come or go with your car, you got to go down, you got to wait, and you pay for parking, and then you have to tip the valet every time that you want to come and go. And it's an inconvenience. It just takes more time out of your schedule.
Right.
So
you actually mentioned something that I remembered you saying before, the cruise. Mm-hmm. You've done the Pride of America cruise, not this trip, but you've done it in the past.
We did it in 2011, quite a while ago.
Can you talk about that a little bit? Is it good, bad? What did it cost? I know the price is going to be different. Would you do it again?
I loved. Oh yeah, I would absolutely do it again. I loved it, especially for anybody that hasn't been to the other islands and wants to get a taste of what the other islands have to offer.
What is it? What's the cruise? Tell them what that is, because act like no one knows.
The Pride of America is a Norwegian cruise on the Pride of America ship that's based here in Honolulu.
Right.
It's the only American flag cruise ship that there is. Every other ship is foreign flag, and it's American flag because it stays in American waters all the time.
Okay.
So you board the ship at about noon on Saturday. and you get to mill about the ship and do your thing. And about 6:30, 7 o'clock, like you've shown on the stream, they depart,
Right.
and they go out
On the dot.
yeah, on the pretty much on the dot. Yeah, they go to Maui. They go to Kahului, Maui, and they stay overnight in Kahului, Maui, and then so you get 2 days in Kahului. So back then, before Lahaina burned down,
Like
unfortunately,
what time of night do you get in? Probably
you get in the morning.
all in the morning. Okay.
Yeah, so you sail overnight from Oahu to Maui, and we had a balcony room.
It doesn't take that long.
They go slow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm
Right.
like, what the?
Because we had a balcony room, and when you're sitting on the
I
balcony,
bet
we
that's
would order
beautiful.
room service and get coffee and Danish and stuff, and we'd sit on our balcony and watch Maui's coastline go by as we pulled in
How
port.
beautiful is that?
Yeah, so we
Now, did you take all of your girlfriends in high school too, or no?
oh no, just her,
Okay.
just that one.
I'm trying to help you out, Lori. I'm trying to get some information.
So yeah, and it's like every morning that you're not staying in port, you're coming into port and passing the coastline. So
I bet that's
yeah,
beautiful.
it's really beautiful. It's really cool. So you spend 2 days in Maui, then you go to Hilo and you spend a night in Hilo. Then they go around the other side of the island. They spend a day in Kona.
And are they always traveling at night? I guess
Yeah, they're
would.
always traveling
So
at
you
night. Yep.
Depart during the day, do your activities.
Yeah,
and
you get back on the ship by like 6:30, and they take off and go to the next
Okay.
place. So they go to Hilo, then they go to Kona, then they go spend 2 days in Kauai, and then they come back to Honolulu.
and do you stay here and then? Oh, I guess you do. You fly out of here.
Yeah,
So how many of you guys would do that? That Star of, or I'm sorry, the Pride of America cruise. Do you remember what you paid for that?
I didn't pay for it.
Oh, okay.
But that was in 2011, and I'm pretty sure that with the excursions and everything, my dad probably paid $7,000-8,000.
Wow.
For that. But you got to remember that all your food's included.
Oh,
and it's your moving hotel. So
Yeah,
you're going to
that's
all of
true.
the islands. Your hotel goes with you, and your food is, all your food, unless you're off the ship, all your food is taken care of while you're on the ship. So
Is Rhonda Beach on here still? I saw
she
her.
went.
Yeah, I was going to
She
ask
went
her
on
what she paid. Do any of you guys know what she paid or about what that is?
I think if you get a deal, there's like second person guest cruises free things that they have sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
That's supposed to be yours.
What's that?
The drink is yours.
Oh, okay.
And,
You can have it. Go ahead.
okay.
Michelle Boyle said, I better be careful because Lori's going to be adding some selective comments on my shirt on how to pronounce. I know how to pronounce that in almost every language. All right. Yeah, Lance is saying that's how a lot of the South Pacific ports are. Fiji. Yeah.
Yeah, he travels a lot more than me.
Yeah. So Carolyn, sounds like how much was it? Does anybody happen to know what that cruise is? Just when you said 7,000, I don't know why I'd think it'd be like 2 or 3, but I guess you're right.
Well, for two people, you've got to do two people.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the gotcha. They list the per person price, but you can't travel alone.
Oh, okay.
You have to travel with two people, and that's with excursions. So we did, she did surf lessons, and I went zip lining, and we did snorkeling at Kealakekua Bay, and so we added all those into the price of the thing. So
You'd almost think it'd be better. I don't know. I think it'd be if you could do 2 days in each port.
Yeah.
Because one seems to be just yeah.
It was very rushed, but
Yeah.
you kind of technically do. So because you go to Maui and you stay overnight, and you go to the Big Island and you go to Hilo and then you go to Kona.
Yeah.
So you're on the Big Island for 2 days,
Yeah.
but you're not at the same place.
Yeah.
So you could technically stay overnight and drive back over to the other side and catch the ship, but
Yeah. That's a haul.
the Big Island's big, and I think that's why they do it, so that you can go to both sides without having to waste all your time making the drive
Yeah,
across.
that's true. That's true. All right. Do you guys have any questions for Dale? They're asking about a list of your girlfriend's names you took to Pride. That's a rude thing to say in front of Lori like that.
I know, right? Well, let's see. There was no. But yeah,
Lori has a big fish. She's making a big fish right here beside me.
Yeah.
That's a great question, Cheryl. Would you ever want to move back to Oahu to live?
every hour of every
Oh,
day.
well, he lives in Denver, for God's sakes. I mean,
I absolutely want to move. I spent hours talking to my brother about him retiring over here, and our standing rule is if
do you
God
work with
forbid,
your brother?
no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
he lives in Oregon.
Oh, okay.
He came out and just spent some of the same time here as we did on this.
Oh, I
vacation.
see. Okay,
Yeah.
I understand.
But our standing rule between me and Lori is if God forbid she passes before me, I'm selling everything and I'm moving here. I'll be here in a heartbeat. I'll be
No
back.
spaghetti factory there in Denver, huh, Lori?
Actually, there is one.
Oh, is there? Okay. So when are you coming back? Do you know?
I don't know. I'd like to come back within a couple of years, but
Yeah.
this particular trip was relatively expensive.
But
So,
man, you've done everything. I don't know what more you could do.
yeah.
I mean, of course, this interview is your highlights. Meeting
Oh yeah,
me,
absolutely.
but,
This is the creme de la creme of
that's
the whole
right.
trip.
See, okay.
But I've been up until this trip. We've done a week every time.
Yeah.
We've done 7 days, and Lori's always told me it's not long enough.
Well, Lori, would you move to Hawaii?
If he moves, yeah, I gotta go.
Well, I would. You have to. I mean, do you? Are you from Denver?
Jersey.
Oh my goodness! If I would have remembered that, I wouldn't have said some of the things I did. Sorry about that.
I'm
Yeah.
allergic to the sun. I actually have a sun allergy.
Oh, is that right?
So it's difficult to go around the island.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely move back here. I've actually on a couple of trips done job interviews just put out feelers and see if there was a job available to maybe move here. And I got hired by a company at one of them.
Yeah.
And when we started talking about salary, it wasn't enough money for me to do that and
To
do it
justify it.
comfortably. Yeah, it just wasn't gonna. And that's one of the big drawbacks here, right? Is that although the cost of living is more expensive than everywhere else, the pay rates for the locals are less than places on the mainland. In fact, when I went, I don't know if you saw my post about McDonald's. But,
I did see that.
So that was the picture of the McDonald's that I worked at as a teenager. Yeah. It's over in Mauna Loa.
Yeah.
And we went there and had breakfast, and they had a sign that they were hiring, and they said they were hiring managers for $18.50 an hour starting. And she commented that right out there by where we live in Denver, it's $22.50 for crew members. And it's so $4 an hour less to work at McDonald's at a place that's 25% more expensive overall.
Yeah.
It's like, and it follows across the board. I mean, I was looking at a job at a John Deere dealership, and they weren't even going to offer me what I made out in Colorado. So it's like, well, I can't survive on that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I can downsize and you know,
you can only do so much.
In a small condo, yeah. But I mean, I don't want to move over here and have no money to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's a great place, to live. But I get it how people, you know, it's an issue with you know, the pay and you know, the cost of, you know, everyday items.
Yep.
All right. Is there anything you want to close with? Anything we missed? It's been a great interview. Any final questions from you guys while he's thinking?
I would. One of the things I always want to get across is when I found your group, and I found it because of Lori. We were sitting there on the couch one night, and she came across a stream where you were doing the Friday night fireworks.
And mispronouncing everything.
And I sat there and watched the whole thing. And then that was on a Friday. And then you did a stream on Saturday, and it popped up on my phone. And I was into it. I was like, this is great. I get to see home. The people are fun. It's a great interaction.
Right.
And so I got into it. And the more I got into it, the more I realized that the role I want to play is to be an advocate for Hawaii and the culture and
you do a good job of that.
The way that I would hope people would interact with the place and the people when they're over here, and the respect that the people here would like to be shown when they're here. So I try to do that, and I try to do that in a friendly and humorous way most of the time, so that I don't want to offend people, but I'd like them to know that for the most part, that perception that the locals hate the tourists is not true.
Yeah,
there are some.
That's such a small percentage, but there's a lot of
But they'll do something that's considered wrong or disrespectful, ignorantly, not knowing that they've done it.
Yeah.
And then they see that reaction, and they think, oh, they just don't like us.
Yeah.
And really, it's just because you've done something that you didn't even know was wrong.
Yeah.
And so I try to, anytime that kind of topic comes up where I can interject that's kind of what I try to do. Like you mispronouncing stuff,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pain in the ass. I scream at my phone all the time. Yeah, and that's the natatorium over there.
The natatorium.
That's the natatorium.
Who is it? Actually, you know what? There's some occasions, not many, where I do it on purpose, especially when I know if Ann without an E is watching. The natatorium. She goes, "Would someone please tell him that's not how you say that?" To answer your question, Kyle, Wendy, no, they've not planned their next trip. Everybody's thanking you, Dale. Thank you for the great information.
Well, just an aside on that, on planning the trip. So we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
So I start with my airfare, and I look for the best deal and the cheapest flight in a block of time that I want to go. February, March, April is usually when I want to go. Springtime is slower for me at work than summer. So I pick a block of time. Like on United, you can actually go by the month and look at the best rates for the entire month.
Yeah.
And so I will find the best flight price for the length of time I want to be here, and then I will find a room that I want for that time period for the best price I can get. And like everybody said, I will book directly with the hotel or the vendor or whoever it is. And even though I don't have a Hawaii ID because I don't live here, I will send an email and explain that I grew up here.
Yeah, and they'll give it to you.
7 out of 10 times they'll offer me a accommodations rate because of it. And
that's good.
And so
that
I
saves
get
you
that.
sometimes 15%, 20%.
Yeah, it's like 20% off.
Yeah, that's good.
And
you
then,
guys, you should get it.
Yeah, and then I go and look for the best rate on a car. And if you decide to get a car for the whole trip, my best recommendation is go in and start a reservation, and then leave it.
Yeah.
And they will start emailing the crap out of you with discounts.
That's a good point.
To try and get you to rent the car.
Yeah.
And so I got our car for 11 days for $600.
That's a good point that you say it, because it's called retargeted graphics. I'm sorry, retargeted ads. So if you go and start a reservation or even look at rates and then you leave it, they capture you, and that's when you accept cookies. Mm-hmm. They'll start marketing back to you. So it's called retargeted. But you're right. That's a good point.
And always search for flights in incognito mode.
Yeah.
It will track that you're searching the same flight over and over, and the price won't ever go down.
And it'll see where you're coming from geographically and all that. So, very good point. Someone's saying something about Musubi. That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, Spam Musubi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're saying you're pronouncing it like I pronounce it wrong or something.
I don't know. I thought you pronounced it right.
Yeah.
25%. You don't get them all wrong, just a few.
No, just a few. Just the ones that make you want to throw the phone across the.
I think you got Kaneohe wrong.
Kaneohe?
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Kaneohe.
Kaneohe?
Yeah, and that's probably the faster way of saying it.
Okay.
You probably actually say it more correct than I do, but it's.
You heard? Did you clip that? What he just said? Clip what he just said.
Yeah. Yeah, because Hawaiian, you're supposed to pronounce every vowel.
What do you mean? Diane says that's not how you say it. How do you search incognito on your browser? At the bottom, you can, when you right click and you choose a browser, you could just do incognito mode. Or you could just go onto Google and search, how do I go to incognito mode? Diane, what are you saying? It's a Japanese word, and you're Japanese. Musubi, that's how you say it, right? Musubi?
Or is it Musubi?
Oh, she's talking about that part. Yeah. Musubi. Musubi.
The Hawaiianized, anglicized.
Oh, well, look at Diane. She says it's a Japanese word and I'm Japanese. Well, excuse me.
Yeah. So am I. I'm Japanese too.
That's right. That's right. He is. He was born in Japan.
I was born in Japan.
Yeah. Musubi. Oh, okay. That's what she's saying. It's Musubi. Okay. Oh, say the word. Say the Hawaiian fish word.
Oh, humu humu nuku nuku apoa.
That one.
Yeah.
You would not believe how many times we went over that, Lance, before the stream started. But he's got it down now.
Yeah, I didn't know how to say that one.
Yeah. Well, it's a struggle, you know. I mean, I'm a linguist, and it's just, you know.
Yeah, but I don't do a good Aussie, so I'm not gonna make it to 25% Aussie.
I
for
can
sure.
show you that. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Very good.
Oh yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you much
Thanks, guys.
thank you for the shirt and the $200. I
Oh,
appreciate
yeah,
that.
you're very welcome.
Everybody make note of that. I will definitely wear this on a stream or two. I appreciate it. Thank you, Lori, for coming. Appreciate it. All right, guys, we're out. Aloha.